Heath.
If I had $1 for every game of the year I've played, I'd have $2.
Only 2.
Yeah.
I figured you'd be approaching double digits.
I touched Witcher. Wait, double-digit dollars?
Yeah.
There's only been like 6 game of the years.
Heath, believe it or not, there's a game of the year every year.
What?
Yeah.
That's a good joke. What? How many? Okay, well, fine. The Wikipedia article I'm looking at only goes back to 2014.
Oh, okay. And
As far as the universe is concerned, Dragon Age Inquisition was the first year.
if we're talking about this iteration of the Jeff Keighley's, then you're correct. It goes back to 2014 only.
Hooray!
So what 2 have you played?
I've touched Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
It does check out.
Heath, how are you doing? I had a lot of fun last night.
We sure did. We sat at a picnic bench in December, which you would think would be icy cold, but it was a balmy 50.
Right. A little bit of rain didn't keep us away.
No, because we were under a tent.
Yep. I admit, when I woke up this morning, there was a minute or 2 where I considered canceling this recording after our evening of debauchery.
What? Because you were that under the weather?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling myself, but
It's because you need to embark on the tequila soda lime method.
Oh yeah, that goes down smoothly.
The tequila soda lime method is the best poison you can put in your body for lack of hangovers.
What chemical reason is there behind that?
No, this is bro science. I am tipping my hat to this TikTok I watched. The algorithm recommended to me that was hypercritical of every sort of other drink. But the tequila soda lime method is the best way to get you peppered.
It has S-tier recovery time.
Seemingly.
Okay.
It's never steered me wrong. The only problem is it tastes like ass.
Oh, well, that's quite the trade-off.
It's bad to drink.
Well, everyone has their different priorities.
And your priority, dear listener, is to tune in to this episode 96 of Mobius Tubes.
That's right. Being recorded on December 10th, 2023.
Like fine wine on the ears.
We're getting down to the end of this year.
At least one person has said. This is the penultimate episode of the year?
I would expect so, yeah.
Right.
Next one will be our end of year special.
Okay.
Where we do our list episode. Always love me a good list.
Sure do.
They write themselves.
Yeah, they do.
But we can't rely on that for this one. I guess we should probably jump into
Try as I might.
Try as we might. What games have you been playing, Heath?
Playing is a strong word. I grazed. Bailey and I put just enough into The Sims 4 for her to seduce the first man that comes to your door. We played just long enough to get a home run with him and do the woohoo. I think she put the controller down like 5 minutes later. I think her motives were clear.
She any percent speed run.
Yeah, we didn't even make it to like the 3rd complete day.
Wow.
We played just long enough. And that was not an explicit goal of hers, which was enlightening.
I did see the Steam notification pop up that you were playing Sims 4, and I wondered what the story behind that was.
Well, because you know how I've fully exploited my employer and I'm playing video games on the clock.
Oh yeah, aren't we all?
Hopefully not. But I've been doing that for the live stream, and one of the games that the ladies played was Sims 4. Right? We would have done Sims 3 because that was their playground of choice, but I couldn't get it up on the same machine that was streaming. So we played Sims 4 because Sims 4 is free to play, as you well know, Chris.
Oh, interesting.
Big Sims fan, Chris.
That's me.
Yeah. So we touched that, and we touched I touched Subnautica for an equally infrequent amount of time. I'm semi-interested in Subnautica.
Samantha's been pushing Subnautica on me hard.
Has she?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's gunning for me to dive into those watery depths.
She loves the ocean.
Yeah. She actually does love the ocean and beaches. It's that California lifestyle she led.
Oh, because she's from the West Coast.
Right.
Oh. Which, as some would say, is the best coast.
Some would say.
Not us.
Not us. She even compared a game I'm going to talk about later this very episode as having Subnautica energy. Stay tuned for that.
Tetris Effect.
I would like to play Tetris Effect, but that's not the game.
All right, go, Chris, go.
Oh, have you finished your itinerary, Heath?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a big Quarry spoiler cast like last episode, you are in dire straits because the only game, my PC is on right now. If you turned around, you would see I got both libraries akimbo, and I'm scrolling through them, and I have a category that says for Chris, and it's got a bunch of games installed, and I couldn't bear myself to launch any of them. All I wanted to do was just something light,
Sure.
just an hors d'oeuvre of a game.
Right.
But I've already played all the hors d'oeuvre of games. Oh, Bailey and I were playing Heavy Rain
Whoa.
on the DL,
Okay.
and with me driving,
Sure.
of course. We made it 3 of the 5 trials in,
So pretty far.
and it has been a chore to go back to it. Bailey has fledgling interest in seeing the big twist to its fruition. I talk about big game when you go to the doctor's house, and talk about big game about when you reveal the unreliable narrator. But she's determined to put her gaming hours into Dreamlight Valley for some reason. For some Disney adult reason.
Did Heavy Rain have its hooks in Bailey and then it lost her along the way?
Well, I try as I might. I tried to breadcrumb her by being like, look, it's the nursing mini game when Madison has to apply medical care to Ethan, who just sustained burns in the electrical puzzle.
Sure.
Remember? You remember.
I think so.
You vividly remember.
Okay.
And I was like, haha, a nurse, haha, because she's a nurse. Did you know she's a nurse? She's a nurse.
I know.
And then I was like, haha, this is the fun romance that you can do with Madison and Ethan. And she was just so checked out,
Really? Not even that could pique her interest.
I don't know. I think the part where you have to chop a finger off rubbed her the wrong way. It begs. I don't know why, because that's a highlight for me. And maybe if we get another David Cage game, it would jumpstart that Quantic Dream zeal. But Heavy Rain is going to remain on the shelf until I brute force it. That's the same way with Disco Elysium. She's like Gandhi trying to fast, and I'm like, eat this game.
You're swimming upstream with those two.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't know what the trick is.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But not every game is going to be for everybody. But speaking of games that are absolutely for us, I'll hop into some things I've been playing. I've been a little all over the place with my video game playing. Since we last recorded, I had a week off for Thanksgiving, so my video game playtime has been verbose.
It was
lately.
all Final Fantasy.
That had been wrapped up and taken to the cleaners. Here's some quickies. I dove into some tried and tested Mobius Tube's favorites. I returned
Into the Breach.
as much as I'd love to. What I returned to was The Case of the Golden Idol.
Yay.
I did download the first DLC, Golden Idol Mysteries, The Spider of Lanka.
It sure is more Golden Idol.
It sure is more Golden Idol, which is all you needed to do
Down
to
to
sell
the
me on it.
font.
3 extra cases to solve, and I'll give you my quick mini review. Case number 1, it's a pretty average Golden Idol case, but an average case of the Golden Idol mystery is excellent, so that's high praise.
It's what you came for, yeah.
Case 1 was a lesson in humility for me. I was fresh back in the mystery solving groove, and I'm like, oh, let's not bother with all these, because once again, this mystery solving game, when you open the screen with all the
Mad Libs.
with all the Mad Libs you need to fill in to successfully complete the case, it will segment them. Often one of the compartments will be solve the identities of who's in this room. Arrogant Chris said, "Oh, I'll bother with the other parts of the case later. Let me just hone in on the identities exclusively, get that out of the way, and then I'll worry about the rest of the stuff later." But just due to the way that the mystery design is set up in Golden Idol, everything is interconnected. Details about this unique bespoke card game the people were playing was relevant to their identities.
Yeah.
So I couldn't safely ignore aspects of the mystery and expect to just isolate the identities.
I was trying to go based on ethnicities. It's so hard to parse which ones were the seamen versus Cloudsley's boys.
Figuring out who was on the crew versus
Like their guides.
the land lovers.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that case number 1 took me longer than it probably should have, just because I was being stubborn about it. I'm refusing to accept all pieces of evidence that I should have been. Case number 2 was probably the highlight, just the most going on with that one. I won't spoil it, but cool ceremony stuff, some code cracking to do.
Oh, I love that.
You said the position of the moon tripped you up. That tripped me up a little bit too.
Okay, good.
I just kind of process of elimination figured that out. And then case number 3, if there was a disappointing case, it was case number 3 for me. Bit of a letdown, only because it seemed the majority of what you needed to solve in case number 3 was a lot of just rehashing and reviewing what happened in case 1 and case 2. Reiterating you realized what happened in the past and then bolting on just a couple extra details. It felt a little bit too much like reviewing a test material that you already knew, case number 3. But the entire package, I was completely satisfied. I look forward to doing the other piece of DLC.
You're actually itching for DLC number 3.
Especially with the way DLC 1 ended, I'm extra excited for DLC number 2.
Okay, all right.
I suspect DLC 2, the Lemurian vampire, will be the bridge that spans the gap between DLC 1 and the base game.
I'll get it if it's on sale.
Yeah, I'll be looking for a winter sale as well.
Yeah.
But expect me to revisit that soon. Moving on, another quickie. Hey, I'm back on that Vampire Survivors train.
Now that it's a full game, it's no longer alpha?
I think it would spend a full game. They keep releasing small DLC packs.
Right.
They're fairly unremarkable, just like a couple new maps, new characters. But the reason I'm bringing it back up on this podcast was there's a cooperative update for Vampire Survivors.
Oh.
So I put Samantha's hands on Vampire Survivors.
God.
And
Does she like to gamble?
turns out she does.
She's like, now let's go to the casino.
I prefaced Vampire Survivors with, hey, this is like a 30-minute game. This could be one and done. That's totally fine. But we ended up playing it a couple nights in a row.
Tell me, Chris, if one person gets their build going and the other person just can't find the synergies, is that a deal breaker?
That could result in a failed run. It's true. Vampire Survivors cooperatively works way better than I expected it to. You're kind of limited by 2 people on the same screen. You can't pull in opposite directions too far, but that wasn't the stifling hindrance I expected it to be. It never really felt like I was being stymied, needing to share a screen with a partner. Apparently, you can have up to 4 people play, which would be crazy.
I think my PC would explode with that many projectiles on it.
They do slightly neuter your character progression. If you're playing by yourself in Vampire Survivors, you may have 6 weapons and 6 passive abilities, where at least in the 2-player mode,
4 each.
4 each.
Yeah, how did I know?
You have a knack for good game design.
My invitation to GDC is in the mail, even though I've never developed a game.
Leveling up works the same. However, you alternate getting to level up.
Ooh.
You have a shared XP pool, but it's just every other. You have to take turns picking your own goodies.
Uh-huh.
So there's like a little bit of a delayed gratification there. I think chests are rewarded randomly. Like you could potentially pick up 3 chests all for you in a row. You're ultimately on the same side. This is a cooperative game, but there's a little bit of friendly cooperation going on where like you hope the chest gives it to you and not your friend. When
it's not whoever picks it up?
It's not whoever picks it up.
Oh.
I think it's unrelated to whoever grabs it.
Fishy.
Yeah, and there's one new item called the Friendship Amulet, which is something you can choose from your level up screen selection, and it will boost you and your teammate. So your friend is always tap you on the shoulder being like, please get the Friendship Amulet. I would love it if you do that. And usually it's in your best interest to do that, except maybe there's like the perfect item for that you have synergies with spawns, and maybe you take that instead of the thing that helps you both.
Yeah, the Evo weapons come first.
Yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of this is too good for me to ignore going on. But
did you ever figure out how to defeat the Grim Reaper?
I have defeated the Grim Reaper.
Gosh, I have no idea how it's done.
You just need that infinite corridor going on.
I've been to the library.
I can talk to you about it off air. I won't spoil it.
All right.
There's some key items.
Uh-huh.
So you've never lasted longer than 30 minutes?
No.
Oh, man.
I've also only played Vampire Survivors for fewer than that many.
On that note, should we move on?
Sure.
Cool. Do you have anything else you can hop back in with?
Game-wise?
Game-wise.
Gosh,
on this video game podcast.
We watched a movie. I put some time into Fortnite.
Do tell.
I got to bronze level 3.
Is that deep enough into your Fortnite career that there are no longer any bots being added to your lobby?
Oh my God, I would like to think so.
Okay.
I'm playing on PC, so surely if I was on a Switch or a lesser console, there might the frequency of bots would be greater. I really just hopped in to like, you know how you like sometimes practice a language to make sure that you're still like able to ask for directions. I wanted to be good enough at Fortnite that I could hop in a game of duos with my friend Grace and not have her carry me too hard.
Trying to keep your skills fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Gun switching is poor. I was playing on a gamepad, right? Controller. Not keyboard and mouse. That was my first mistake. And then quickly after I tried to hop on the training wheels and play with a keyboard and mouse, I logged off soon after. I just couldn't bear it. But that's if you have any questions, feel free, because that's Fortnite.
There was a Fortnite resurgence lately where it's like, oh, we're back to the original map.
Oh, gee, yes.
Is that what you've been playing on?
It has, yes. That is the map I've been playing on. The vehicles are still popping up, though, even though those are not vanilla Fortnite.
Sure. Did you ever get hands-on with vanilla Fortnite to where seeing the original map elicits any kind of nostalgia for you?
I have no nostalgia. No.
Okay.
That's purely the novelty is lost on me.
Got it. It's no different to you than anything else.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I have 2 more games to talk about.
Let's do it.
Sure. I'll start with the main course. I've played and completed a video game called Returnal.
Oh.
Yeah.
And despite that, my brain immediately went to the medium.
Oh, okay.
Does that make any sense?
That's like a horror game. And Returnal does have horror game vibes. It's horror adjacent, you could say.
It's basically Prometheus the roguelike.
Yeah, I don't know what Prometheus is.
That's a movie.
I will take your word for it. But yeah, this comes from Housemarque, a now first-party Sony studio. I've briefly touched on Housemarque games. They're known for their arcade-style action games. Nex Machina, Super Stardust Delta, and what's that PS4 launch title?
I'm going to shout it out.
It's Resogun.
Oh, okay.
Resogun's probably my favorite other game of theirs. Anyway, this was a big departure for them. Maybe their first step into AAA games for a wider audience. But here we go. Returnal, as you mentioned, Heath, it's a roguelike action game. You take on the role of Celine, an astronaut working for the Astra Corporation, and she follows a mysterious signal and ends up crash landing
In
on,
dead space.
Yeah, on a hostile alien world called Atropos. And she tries to escape, quickly finds herself getting killed due to the hostile flora and fauna on the planet, and finds herself, waking back up right after her crash.
It's a time loop game.
It's a time loop game, which I guess has been all the rage the past couple of years.
Why does no one talk about this game?
It did fly a bit under the radar. I think it was here's why, probably. It was a PlayStation 5 exclusive when PlayStation 5s were very hard to find.
It's true. I have yet to find one.
Yeah, it came out in 2021. And people were also probably turned off by this game's difficulty. Let's dive into that a little bit. When you boot up this game for the very first time, you're greeted with a bit of a warning message at the start to the effect of...
Tell your little brother he better not come in the room. He's too scared.
Capital G gamers only.
Yeah.
No one else may apply. It says, Returnal was intended to be a challenging experience. Failure should be expected. It's nothing to get down on yourself about. Just press through and persevere. And
that's so counterintuitive to what game. If your mom is listening to that paragraph, she'd be like, then why play the game?
Oh, I mean, that could be a large part of the appeal. That's the appeal to From Software and their millions of fans.
Yeah, but they're From Software fans they're barely human.
What is that supposed to mean?
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm a budding From Software fan.
I know. I'm trying to reel you back in.
But I said, hey, I know what I'm signing up for here. This is the year I bested Doom Eternal and Sekiro. I can put myself in the headspace of grinding Returnal for a little while.
Dead Space.
And just to get this out of the way, I had a highly atypical Returnal experience. I just kind of breezed through the game. I hit the credits, end of Act 1, end of Act 2, saw the whole thing. Credits played, got my final statistics. I died 4 times.
Oh.
And that 4th death was just my successful run.
You were just in the bathroom and a cutscene ended and then you got one-shotted.
So I had 3 legit fail states because the 4th run was a successful one.
Damn.
Act 2, I never got a fail state in Act 2.
Oh my gosh.
For
the audio listener, Chris is dusting off his left shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, Returnal just really clicked with my synapses. To be fair, 90 minutes into my Returnal experience, I muttered to myself, man, this is a Chris-ass video game. I really, really liked it.
What? Because it's not immersive sim in any way.
No, not in any way. It's just all that really juicy, satisfying game feel you want from a good action game.
Yeah, action game, right. So does it have that Doom Eternal chess?
It has that Doom Eternal adrenaline pumping gameplay, to be sure.
Okay.
But mixed with very juicy roguelike decision making, where you're constantly running risk-reward analysis on what kind of a build you're going to go for this run. It had everything I look for in a action game. Right off the bat, finally, a game that actually rips off the Gears of War active reload mechanic.
Ooh.
I've been looking for that for years now.
Oh my God.
I'm sure maybe some other game I haven't heard of does it, but hey, Returnal does it in spades. Just that little extra mechanical flair where every time you reload, you can try to perfect it by reloading during the right timing window.
We'd be playing Call of Duty if they did that.
I know, it's so satisfying. Just ever so slightly elevates the skill ceiling of the game. I like that. As I was saying, I really like how often when you're playing Returnal, you need to be running cost-benefit analysis calculations. What I mean by that...
What's the name of the currency in the game? Space bucks.
Oblites.
All right, that's good, yeah.
They look like little gold fragments. And that's the currency. The game takes place over several biomes. At the end of each biome, you face a boss.
The ice biome.
Yep, there is an ice biome.
You're sliding all over the place.
That's correct. This is, in fact, a video game. Even has an underwater level.
Oh, my... Yeah, and the music is all... Typical.
And it has an excellent UI for the map, which helps alleviate one of my criticisms I'll touch on later. But it'll be very clearly signposted, this big red door. The boss is behind it. Are you ready to face him? And you can ask yourself, like, I've got 100% of my health right now. I'm in good shape. I could fight the boss, or I could go into some optional rooms, maybe level up my gun proficiency level a little bit more, grab a little extra currency before I move on to the next biome. You're asking yourself,
this is very much like the Pro ZD Vine.
Which one are you referencing?
Where it's like, I am Ice Dragon, come at me. And he's like, 1 second. And then he goes into each room and Ice Dragon's like, where are you going? And then he passes in front of the frame. And he's like, I found a potion. You have to watch it. I described it, but it was designed for Returnal.
If I say I'm going to mention Pro ZD later this episode, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, is he going to just come out of this from the front door?
Stay tuned.
What? Friend of the show, Pro ZD? Sungwon?
Yeah, Sungwon himself. Returnal very explicitly has you asking yourself risk and reward questions with its malfunction system. Sometimes you'll get purple glowing loot, which is potentially corrupted. Meaning, if you pick up this purple glowing chest, there's going to be goodies inside, it's true, but there's a chance you'll suffer a malfunction.
Oh, it's dubious food from Breath of the Wild.
Dubious food, exactly. Where there's a varying chance that you'll have some negative status effect applied to you that you can only free yourself of by doing a challenge it randomly tells you to do. So constantly
you took that risk every time.
Figuring out the art of when to accept malfunctions and when to pass on them is a fun line to walk. I think my gunplay skills in Returnal are average to slightly above average. I think where I really grokked the game was Returnal's economy made a lot of sense to me.
All those ooblights.
Max minning your ooblight collection, playing the metagame of which rooms do you enter and which do you skip. I think I played that very well.
You sound like a speedrunner.
No, I played it slowly and methodically, actually, where I would very thoroughly comb through the environment, but I made sure to try to eke out as much juice from every item pickup I could get.
This sounds very Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. I'll segue to my main criticism of Returnal is I think the game design incentivizes backtracking a little too much, where there's constant reasons for you to return to old areas, just to play in peak form. For example, health regeneration is hard to come by. You need health pickups that are random drops. So maybe a large health vial that will restore a majority of your health spawns one time. And you're like, oh, that'll be great. However, I'm only missing like a few slivers of health
I'm at like
right
80%.
Now. I'm at like 80%. It would be very inefficient to pick this up right now.
Go let the big boss smack me around and then come back and get it.
Exactly. I need to go get roughed up a little bit more. I need to remember where on this big labyrinthian map this health pickup is and circle back to it when it's more advantageous to grab it.
What's the GDC solution for that game design?
That's a tricky question.
You should be able to just put it in your inventory.
Some kind of an inventory that you can hold on to for a while.
Yeah.
Another thing was chests. When you open up a chest, they will often give you a cool weapon.
You said the malfunction. They're purple sometimes.
Yes, some chests are purple, but some are affliction free. It's like there's no risk to opening this chest.
Boring.
But one reason you might want to hold off and basically play the marshmallow test with yourself is on a run-to-run basis, you have a proficiency level, which basically dictates how high quality gear guns are going to drop for you. You keep leveling it up. It's kind of like your XP bar. It does reset between runs, but if you're proficiency level 5, that means any weapons you find will be level 5 or greater. As you kill more enemies, the gear that you will drop will be better.
Right.
If you hold off on popping open those chests until later in your run, you're guaranteed to get better gear out of the chests.
Oh, it's rubber banding.
It's
Mario Kart. You're in 8th place.
It's delayment of gratification. Because if your proficiency level is 1 and you open a chest, you're probably going to get a level 1 gun. if you come back to that same chest after beating up all the baddies.
There's a limited quantity. Oh my god. Oh, so like I kill a space zombie, it drops a chest.
Sure.
I need not open it.
Need not open that chest. Which is why backtracking is heavily encouraged.
Oh my god.
So I'll often clear a level and then go on a loot spree, just popping open all the chests.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, this is so exploitable.
Yes, that's why I said I max minned the metagame to the nth degree.
Yeah,
which is why I think I had so much success playing this game.
Flick on a podcast while you do your cleanup.
And then there's shop vendors you can spend currency on.
What are you buying?
But often you won't have enough currency to pay for it right away. So you'll need to remember where the shop station is and then circle back to it. So just another reason. Thankfully, the map in this game, great. Crystal clear where everything is.
You said the UI was perfect.
Very, very good and user-friendly, which alleviated some of my backtracking concerns. But it was a little time-consuming, needing to keep revisiting rooms. But that's really my only nitpick on Returnal. Everything else, oh man, what a game. This game has a story in it too. It's not just a shooty action game.
You play as Celine, who always gets picked last for the space dodgeball.
I would not ultimately recommend this to someone who's just interested in the narrative. A few reasons that would put people off is, while the story segments that exist in the game are very cool, there aren't many of them. A minority percentage of your time spent in Returnal will be engaging with the story. And also, the lack of any difficulty options means this is not a game you can just breeze through for the narrative implications, unless you're playing with the Chris-approved max min way. Then maybe you breeze through it. I don't know. The story's pretty cool. And for anyone who's finished Act 1 of Returnal, I'll just say there is a mid-game cutscene that was so out of left field. I just stood there incredulously, not sure if I actually understood what just played out.
What, is this game Immortality?
There's a big twist. I was not expecting them to go there. And by the time I rolled the credits and finished the game in its entirety, I'll just say what Returnal ends up being about, I would have never predicted in a million years. The game is not what it always seems to be. I'll just leave it at that.
It's about recycling. Separate your paper from your plastics.
And just to further hammer home how atypical of a Returnal experience I had, after beating the game in my rather brisk 15, 16 hours, I started hitting up the spoiler content and watching some YouTube essays, hit up that Jacob Geller Returnal video.
I fucking hate Jacob. I watched his scary games video. I watched his top best of 2023 video.
I know. It's well documented Heath is a Jacob Geller non-believer. But after I consumed a bunch of Returnal spoilery content, I rolled credits on this game. I was getting story spoiled for me. Just because I went through so quickly, I missed...
The cutscenes couldn't load fast enough.
The game is designed in such a way to drip feed you story content on a per run basis. I didn't have enough runs to get this entire story.
Oh my god! Disco. Death Stranding is the same way. You get those flashbacks when you go to sleep.
Right.
So I guess if you're God tier Norman Reedus and you never have to sleep, you'd miss out on your Mads Mikkelsens. Returnal is the same way.
Similar thing in play here. Yeah. In the main narrative delivery moments, it's clearly PT inspired.
Yeah.
Traversing a house in first person.
Okay.
And I just missed more than half of the house segments because I didn't play the game enough.
Oh, I get you.
Because you only get one house segment per run at most.
Right, and you beat it in 2 seconds.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the story was even cooler than I expected it to be because I didn't get to see it all.
Oh my god.
No, it was so good. It was so good, and
so this is it's an action game.
It's an action game. It's a sweaty, twitchy action game.
Do I hate action games?
Oh, well.
I can't even. I almost played Breath of the Wild enough to have an opinion.
Okay.
Is that the only action game I've talked about?
I would say you're proficient in Call of Duty. Those are action games for
Yeah,
sure.
but that's nostalgia,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I'd have to look at what you've been playing recently. Maybe you're a more cerebral guy.
I think I'm an action hater.
Yeah, because you're not into character action, so you're not touching Bayonetta or Devil May Cry.
No.
You're not... How many first-person shooters have you played recently?
Subnautica.
No, that's fine. That you bring diversity to this podcast, Heath.
Yeah, I'm a hater. Okay. Yeah, carry on.
Carry on. I'm wrapping up my Returnal thoughts. I just really jived with this game. Cool weapon diversity. I will say shout out to the Hollow Seeker and the Driver, I think it's called. That's the one that shoots like pylons that you can set up traps.
This is Dead Space.
Maybe. I mean, it's got some Metroid.
Wait, this isn't first
influence.
person?
It's a third person game.
Okay, sorry. When you said, okay, yeah,
It's got Metroid vibes. It probably has Dead Space vibes.
there's a girl in it.
It's got a girl. And I'll just say, to end off the Returnal talk, it just re-emphasized to me the perks of waiting a year or two before playing a game.
When your GPU is off the moon.
I went back to watch like some of the release reviews of the game, and one of the big criticisms that would have probably killed my enjoyment of the game was there was no way to mid-run save and exit the game. You had to finish it in a single sitting, or just leave my PC running. There is now, thanks to updates, there's a suspend and resume feature. Thank God, because Returnal, for being a roguelike game, had very long runs, like many hours. Act 1 probably took me 4 to 5 hours, which, had I been playing at release, would have needed to be accomplished in a single sitting, and I don't really play games like that.
No, and your turkey sandwich would just be getting drier and drier.
As I go into a calorie deficit.
Yeah, you need that break. I know you.
Yeah. So thank goodness that you can now save and exit Returnal.
You can both save and exit at Returnal, and then the Ascension update introduces online cooperative multiplayer, which allows up to 2 players to complete the campaign together.
Yeah, you could do that.
Maybe you carry me and get to see more of that story you missed.
I mean, that sounds pretty fun to me.
Chris, how do I shoot the driver?
And then lastly, the game had a free DLC called the Tower of Sisyphus, which is like an endless mode.
That's a good title.
It is a good title, and I've only been dabbling with it, but I intend to play more Tower of Sisyphus. It adds more story content, but it really just kind of ramps up the Returnal experience all the more quickly. It's a much more condensed, intense Returnal dosage when you're playing this DLC, and I'm here for it. It's great.
Is this the best game that came out in 2021?
It's one of the best games, I think. 2021 was a notoriously weak year for game releases.
Deathloop, It Takes Two, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, those are some of my favorites.
Oh, you do? Oh, dude, 2021 is... And Resident Evil Village.
Haven't gotten around to that
sorry,
one yet.
sorry. I confused...
7.
Yeah. Stop touching the microphone.
Sorry.
Do you hear that when you touch it?
I don't.
Well, now touch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
dude.
heard it.
Your electric personality is no, that's got to be an issue with the cable. But
I'll keep
I'm
my
just trying to
fingers
say that you're
to myself.
You have a yeah. For the
No.
audio listener, Chris is close enough to put his fingers in my mouth. No, I'm just feeling the not safe for work artwork. All right.
Yeah, Returnal super impressed me. I liked it far more than I expected to. It will probably chart quite highly on my top 10 games next episode.
No doubt. Next episode. Oh, hell. Oh, crap. This episode was my last chance to get in some games.
You can open next episode with what you've been playing.
Yeah, what if I'm like, so I fired up Death of the Outsider. All right, let's move on to my top 10. Death of the Outsider.
I've definitely had that happen to me before.
Oy vey. This is doing your homework on the school bus.
It kind of is. Thankfully, you've played enough games, Heath, to round out your top 10 right now if you needed to.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Moving on to the last thing Chris has been playing over this video game marathon past couple of weeks I've had. I guess I've been in a Sony mood lately because the other game I finished just yesterday was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Hooray!
Kind of the other end of the Sony first-party spectrum of like mass appeal accessibility. This game probably appeals to everyone.
Web slinging.
And it was great.
Bad guy flinging.
It's been like 4 years, but I did talk about my experience playing Spider-Man on this podcast.
Hey.
Ages ago.
Mary Jane segments are better or worse?
They're better by the fact that they don't exist. Because kind of the conceit of Spider-Man Miles Morales, this more bite-sized spin-off game in the Insomniac Spider-Verse, is that Peter Parker and Mary Jane are on their European vacation. And
they always do that.
And in the meantime, Miles Morales is picking up the slack. He's New York City's sole Spider-Man for the time being. And he's got a lot to deal with. And
but you can play as Peter as well.
Not in this game, no.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Peter Parker is only on audio recordings.
What game is this?
This is the 2020 PlayStation 5 launch title.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it began as probably DLC that eventually became its own.
Wait, so Spider-Man 2 is the third Spider-Man game?
Correct.
I hate my life. Okay.
Spider-Man 2 is the third.
Dude,
Spider-Man
until we figured this out, I was picturing two different games. Okay.
Well, to be fair, all three of these games look almost identical.
They sure
It's just
do.
very pretty New York City.
How short is this?
It was short. I think
this is Death of the Outsider for Spider-Man fans.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is Death of the Outsider for Spider-Man fans. This is Uncharted Lost Legacy for Spider-Man fans.
Ay. Oh, that's probably more fitting because it's a Sony first party.
Yeah. And hey, I knew exactly what I was getting into when I signed up to play this game. It did not reinvent the wheel or anything.
Does this game have Taskmaster, or what's his name? That's the fun. That's the fun villain that like learns your moves, right?
Oh,
yeah, Taskmaster.
You're talking about. I don't think he's in this game.
I brought it up.
Is he from Spider-Man 2?
Why did we wait? What? I just recalled Tombstone Juice.
Juice.
Is that I lack the context for that. I don't remember why that was the episode title.
That was the episode title. Why that is the case, we may never know.
Oh my god. I gotta re-listen. All right. Okay, Miles.
Hey, I had a better than expected time playing this. It is
You're playing this in anticipation of the next the one that came out?
Yeah, I'll play Spider-Man 2 and
did that get nominated this year?
For what Spider-Man 2 had tons of Game Awards nominations.
Right.
But 0 awards. It was shut out.
Ah, okay.
Which, funnily enough, was the same fate shared by Spider-Man 1 when that came out.
Oh.
Tons of nominations, couldn't secure any Ws.
That's the fate that we all thought would happen to Disco Elysium.
We would have to,
that's and by we all I mean probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, it's Miles.
As I was saying, they don't reinvent the wheel here. It is a by-the-books Ubisoft open-world formula game, and I'm totally fine with that style of game. I just need to be careful spacing out when I play them, since they can feel pretty homogenous that I'm susceptible to burnout if I play them back-to-back. I only played 2 this year. I played Miles Morales, and I played Ghostwire Tokyo. Those are my only open-world checkboxy style games.
Doesn't Ghostwire Tokyo also have a web-slinging kind of grapple hook?
It's your Ghostwire
from rooftop to rooftop.
That is correct.
Damn.
In an urban environment, yeah.
These are just carbon copies.
Miles Morales did not outstay its welcome. I think its short runtime works in its favor since it needs to be a more condensed experience.
How long is this game?
I finished it in 12 hours.
Okay, so 2 Returnals worth. That's my joke.
But yeah, just because they had an accelerated pace with the shorter runtime, they do things like they bestow your full web swinging tool set on you even more quickly than like the first Spider-Man game does. So that you're just off to the races.
It really is
all the faster.
Death of the Outsider.
Yeah.
Did you play with real-time ray tracing?
I
mean, I know you're HDR all day, every day.
I don't remember what I did about ray tracing.
Okay.
Performance was great, though. Most of my original Spider-Man thoughts apply to this. Tune back to those if you care for some reason. Oh, here's just a fun trivia about this game. This was the first video game I've ever played that has a setting I've actually visited in real life.
Oh,
yeah.
Central Park.
Yes. Because between when I played Spider-Man in 2019 and now playing Miles Morales in 2023, I visited New York City for the first time. So when I saw Central Park in the game, and when I saw the Museum of Natural History, and when I saw the southern shore of Manhattan and like where you can see the Statue of Liberty, I was like, oh, I've been to all of those.
I'm walking here. Wow. I'm so happy for you.
That was a cool sensation. Just this digital tourism and like getting a little bit nostalgic about playing this game and like having feet on the ground. I had been here myself. Really cool. I imagine if anyone who's played, I don't know, there's lots of examples of games set in real cities.
Oh my God, LA Noire.
The Watchdog games are set in real cities.
Like Toronto?
Chicago, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, cool sensation. I look forward to whenever that next happens to me in a video game. I am here for it. And then closing just little.
You beat Miles Morales.
I beat Miles Morales. The story was fairly ho-hum.
Yeah.
Predictable.
Did you unlock all the outfits?
I'm working on it, but that segues beautifully into my final point. The extra suits you can unlock in this game, clearly a labor of love went into them.
Yeah.
The two standouts for me was there is a Into the Spider-Verse suit you can equip.
Is the frame rate different?
And you can equip a suit modification in like your loadout that does change the animation style.
Yeah, it's on twos. Yeah.
The frame pacing is different compared to everything else in the world on screen to make it look like it's straight out of the movie. Really cool. And they put in the programming legwork to have that cool animation style can be applied to any of the suits.
No way.
Not just the Spider-Verse
Oh
suit.
my God.
And a cool reward when you finish the game is the cat bodega suit. Mm-hmm, there's like a side quest with a cat you rescue to bring him back to this bodega owner.
Yeah.
Apparently the cat takes a liking to Miles. He can hang around with you.
He's your familiar?
He hangs out in your backpack. And whenever he pops his head out once in a while, makes ambient cat noises, which is cute.
But when you web swing.
The standout feature is whenever you're in combat and you build up a high enough combo meter that you do one of your flashy finishing moves to like instantly take out an enemy.
Yeah.
The cat hops in with an assist, leaps out of the backpack and like claws guys and stuff.
This is a farce.
It was just a needless amount of extra animation work they did just for the cat lovers out there. And I was here for it. It was great. It was a cherry on top. And a satisfying conclusion to a great game that did not outstay its welcome at all.
In the chronicle of these games, is this one just going to get missed?
Like Returnal, it's probably another Sony exclusive that gets overlooked.
Ay. Because it's not better than the first game or the second game.
I'd argue I probably had more fun in Miles Morales than I did the first Spider-Man game.
Oh, okay.
Only because the shorter runtime meant it had to be more killer, less filler.
Yeah.
And they layer on a few extra Miles-specific mechanics that just give combat encounters ever so slightly more decision-making involved. Because Miles Morales is the electric Spider-Man. So you have...
What?
Yeah, he's got electricity powers.
First, okay.
So you have one more meter to manage. You have his Venom gauge.
Chris, Miles is the Black Spider-Man, not to be confused with Black Spider-Man.
Who's Black Spider-Man?
Well, no, the suit.
Oh, Oh, like the symbiote suit.
That's why that joke works.
That's why that joke works. Gotcha. And then Miles Morales is also the invisible Spider-Man. So you have a camouflage.
Wait, what?
You have a camouflage ability that can.
This is hat on a hat.
That gives you a few extra options during the stealth segments.
Stealth maneuver.
So just a little more mechanical complexity, the shorter runtime, all of that contributed. I liked Miles Morales, I think, a little bit more than original.
When they in 15 years' time, when they remaster these games,
Sure.
is the world map the same in Miles?
I think it is the same.
Okay, so you're just gonna bundle, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'm trying to think of games that would do that.
You
did it again.
I'm the electric Spider-Man.
Oh my
I'm the
gosh.
electric podcast
This is
host.
your origin story. Am I your Uncle Ben? I have to get shot in the street. And
Miles,
you'll be like, I was stood on that street.
while Miles Morales is set on the same Manhattan map as the original game, it is now Christmas time, so it is a holiday aesthetic, which is cool. Mm-hmm. New York City during December is an iconic setting, and it was fun. That was one of the reasons I played it, actually, because we're to get into
Holiday
spirit.
season?
Yeah.
What? Do I have to, by that same token, play Arkham? Nah, I don't even remember. Origins.
Arkham Origins is the Christmas.
I couldn't even
Batman.
remember it.
That is the Arkham Origins is the Miles Morales of the Batman Arkham games.
And that, in more ways than I care to delve into. So, good playing there, Chris.
Good playing. Yeah, I played far too many games, but I had a great time doing it. Thanks for listening to all of my updates. With that, shall we take a break?
Sure.
And come back with Game Awards
News.
See you then.
Been watching a lot of Ace Rolla lately.
Fill me in.
He's a graphics programmer, and he makes videos talking about all the ways you optimize your game engine for visuals. Like, this is how grass is made, this is how waves are made. In like just between tutorial and like curiosity.
Yeah.
He's not saying right click on this thing, but he's just going into theory.
He's giving you some tips of the trade.
It's pretty I would say tune into Ace Rolla before you click on another Jacob Geller. I watched Super Bunny Hop's latest video.
I have not done that yet.
On the freaking
Pentiment?
Yeah, Pentiment, the medieval
murder mystery.
Damn near visual novel detective game.
From Obsidian.
Yeah, that's from Obsidian?
It's from Obsidian.
Oh, but I thought I liked Obsidian's games.
Oh, are you saying you're a Pentiment hater?
Dude, Pentiment is oh man, you gotta have an interest in early Christian history and the feudal era.
Well, I'm hyped for Pentiment, actually.
Do Obsidian make games for people that read books?
Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, Pentiment seems like a book reader
Pentiment,
game.
what else does Obsidian make?
They made Fallout New Vegas.
I'll play that.
They made The Outer Worlds.
I just Googled Obsidian and then a rock came up and I was just indignant. They made Outer Worlds. Sorry.
Outer Worlds.
I got excited for a second.
They made South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Oh.
Yeah, they're an acclaimed developer.
All right.
A lot of range to their games.
Much like the range that the driver had. the Ooblite. I was going to say Ooblek. You know, the non-Newtonian fluid thing?
Okay.
Oh my God. And we're back. Chris.
Heath, another year, another Game Awards in the books.
Happy. Who would have thought that Alan Wake 2 would do as well as it did?
Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 were the critical darlings of this year's Game Awards.
Sure were.
I was shocked that Tears of the Kingdom went home with a single award to its name.
Best Nintendo game?
Best action adventure. was what it.
Yeah, that was a lock.
That was a lock, but that's all it got. I was surprised.
We got robbed.
Were there any other snubs in your view?
Yeah, I thought that Silk Song should have been announced.
An announcement snub, perhaps.
Yep. How long ago was Armored Core teased?
Teased? It was shown at last year's Game Awards.
Wow, it feels like that came out rapidly.
It did. From Software pumps them out.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
I did chuckle at Christopher Judge's joke.
At Call of Duty's expense?
Yes, it was the right mixture of self-deprecating, but also throwing a little shade at Titan of the industry, Call of Duty.
Yeah. I should play one of those God of Wars.
What did you make of the, I guess, light controversy of maybe in an overcorrection to Christopher Judge's 8-minute speech last year? Jeff Keighley seemed quick on the trigger finger to usher award winners off of the stage quickly after they're giving their acceptance speech. The music would start playing quite rapidly, like 30 seconds into their speech.
I was unaware of this.
It was maybe most prominent where the Baldur's Gate man who was accepting best performance was giving a very heartfelt, touching speech, like talking about people that they lost in the development team during the course of making Baldur's Gate. Ooh. And then Jeff Keighley was trying to get him off.
Yeah.
But he was giving a very like charismatic, moving moment and just cutting it short.
And then Jeff Keighley rattles off 8 awards right before the GOTY.
Right, which is the Game Awards standard operating procedure. That happens every year.
Yeah.
It's
Why?
Super goofy, but it's nothing new.
It begs the question. How else are they spending their runtime?
Right.
On trailers.
Yes. It calls into question
and Muppets.
How much the Muppet duration could be trimmed, I think.
I didn't catch any of the Muppet thing. I just saw a thumbnail.
Sure. But show itself out of the way. Let's talk about those announcements.
Is there a new NVIDIA coming? Is the 4090 the best thing ever still?
4090 is still the best thing ever to my knowledge. Okay. I think new generations launch at about a 2-year cadence, which would mean about a year away.
I still need one now.
That's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah.
You have my sympathy, of course. They wouldn't have really announced new NVIDIA hardware at this show. But you can hope. Heath, I'll just run through a couple things that stood out to me.
Feel free.
In no particular order. Hey, we talked about Case of the Golden Idol earlier. Rise of the Golden Idol.
Was at the Game Awards?
Was at the Game Awards.
That's crazy.
Teased. Sequel.
Okay.
Exciting.
Did they hold up a physical golden idol? Did Jeff pull a golden idol out of his pocket?
There was no physical golden idol, unfortunately.
That would have been fun.
The premise, I saw this on Steam, actually. The premise is available 300 years after the events of the original game. It's now set in the 1970s. And like the far-flung descendants have stumbled upon the golden idol.
But it got busted.
Oh.
It got busted. Friggin' who fell off his horse and broke it? It's like the heavyset general.
Right. Well, somehow it's back.
This is a retcon.
Maybe a bit of a retcon. But I'm so curious to see what occurs in like a far more contemporary setting. And they showed like a montage of all the grotesque character faces that are going to be in this sequel, and they're all great.
They are a bunch of Nidhogg 2 looking you guys.
And I love each and every one of them.
Take it or leave it. I wish my golden idol looked like Obra Dinn.
Both are very good looking games. I agree.
Yeah, but Obra Dinn's not Uggo.
I'd say if I had to summarize the Game Awards announcements in a sentence, it was, hey, a bunch of small teams you've heard of before are back with a new game. Check it out.
That would have been true for Team Cherry.
Right, if they had shown up. This was an early announcement right at the beginning of the show. There's a new Daniel Mullins game.
That name is totally lost on me.
You'll know him because he made Inscription.
Panda Express or whatever that hacking game is.
Pony Island 2.
Panda, I watched the trailer less than an hour ago.
So who did you see in that trailer?
An Asian man.
That's ProZD.
No!
Dude, that's live action. Sung-won himself
I
is
didn't
in
know.
Pony Island 2.
Oh my God, it totally passed me by.
Is this when you're outing yourself where you say all Asian people look the same?
Janice gifted me a Chinese romance game called Love Is All Around.
Oh.
Look that up. Love Is All Around Steam.
Janice gifted me a Steam game.
And I thought, did his account get hacked? Is this a malware?
I'm a little bit...
I don't want to. I mean, I kind of want to play it, but I don't want to admit that I kind of want to play it.
It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam.
Yeah, and I saw an article that was like, a game that fulfills male fantasies climbs the charts.
This is a new release from October of this year.
Is it okay? Wait, is it dubbed? Do you think it's subbed?
My gut instinct on this is it's probably subbed.
Okay, that's gonna hurt me.
I'm a little jealous of this game. This seems right up my alley. But Janice gifted me Pathologic, which is like a horror game.
Why does Chris get Pathologic and I get Love You Long Time?
The invitations got mixed up in the mail.
Oh my God. This is almost bringing me out of this Pro ZD trailer.
But no, I'm super excited. In typical Daniel Mullins fashion, Pony Island 2, Panda Circus looks off the walls bonkers.
What? Explain the title. Oh, that is Pro ZD.
Yeah.
I just checked out of it as soon as I saw that the parts of Inscription that I maybe didn't care for were getting all the attention.
We're front and center.
The parts I liked about Inscription are missing, as far as I can see. This looks like WarioWare.
Yeah, I don't feel confident making any claims about what the game is going to be like.
This Pro ZD thing looks awesome, though.
I know, right? I'm going to check it out.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God, it's a perfect fit.
It's so good.
But yeah, they're hyping up like the ridiculosity. And what I liked about Inscription was everything that had to do in the shed.
Right. The shed is peak Inscription.
But obviously not, because they're taking it a different direction. This is different than Inscription.
It's probably closer to Pony Island.
The nucleus of Inscription was the shed, and this Pony Island 2 Panda Express. God, what kind of
Panda Circus?
Oh, sorry, I keep confusing it with the restaurant chain. This Inscription sequel effectively is taking the mitochondria and the endoplasmic reticulum and the lysosomes. What I want is the nucleus.
I feel like many people will be in agreement with you, Heath. I think this Daniel Mullins guy is clearly beats to his own drum. He just makes whatever the hell he wants to make.
Yeah, but that should only apply to Lucas Pope and Toby Fox.
So say
I want to put this Daniel Mullins guy back in his box. Anyway, that was Panda Circus.
What did you think of Hello Games' new game?
Oh, bomber title. I loved this
Title
nomenclature. Light No Fire.
Yes. A pseudo sequel to No Man's Sky.
I like the no motif. That's right. That's fun to do.
The No franchise.
I will never play this game.
Aesthetically, it grabbed me.
It's a first-person fantasy. It's basically, you're going after Skyrim, kind of.
A little bit. So instead of the No Man's Sky pitch, which was infinite planets to explore, this is kind of the
little reduced scope.
Kind of almost equally ambitious, but in the exact opposite way. There's one planet, but it's a actual to scale planet.
Right. And there's like a kingdom of foxes, and there's like a bunch of pig bandits.
Fantasy, whimsical setting.
Sure.
Yep. It's, I think, more visually appealing to me than No Man's Sky ever was.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's just a crisp judgment I'm rendering.
I do like me some space.
And
I'm too scared of it, though, which is why I never go up.
And I liked the Sean Murray kind of elevator pitch where, what if the mountain was like actually mountainous? And
But that's okay.
yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I had no problems with the mountain that the Greybeards lived on.
hi,
And they did you.
Hrothgar.
Yeah, High Hrothgar. High Hrothgar rocks.
But it takes
Despite its like scaling.
But it takes like 9 or 10 minutes to ascend it to its peak.
Yeah, I don't have an hour to scale Sean Mullins' peak. What's his name?
Sean Murray.
Thank you.
It could very well be multiple hours. But yeah, I guess
To what end, Chris?
I don't know. That remains to be seen. It could be, another kind of dud on arrival.
But then it'll be good in 8 years.
Good in 8 years could be. I mean, I raised an eyebrow when Hello Games was like, "Oh, we're back with a very ambitious title."
There's a Pony Island 1?
Yes. That was, I think, Daniel Mullen's first game.
Oh, and it's real. Oh, man, I might want to play this.
Isn't it on sale for like 79 cents or something?
I believe it. Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, Light No Fire at least piqued my interest. This was maybe the biggest Chris surprise of the show.
What?
Did you hear about the new game from Moon Studios, creators of the Ori games?
Oh, is there a new Will of the Wisps?
No, it's a new franchise. No Rest for the Wicked.
I have no idea what this looks like.
Big departure, at least conceptually. It's like a grim fantasy RPG.
Girl in armor.
But it has that signature Moon Studios gorgeous aesthetics. I don't really know what, besides how visually appealing it is.
It looks like Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, it has a grounded fantasy aesthetic for sure. But I love their previous games, and I'll be back for this one. Sign me up.
I know someone who would like this.
Is their name Chris?
Maybe.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting that from them. Is there anything else you want to call attention to?
No, I pretty much covered it, didn't I? Alan Wake.
Did you see the live musical performance from the Old Gods of Asgard?
I did not.
It was pretty good.
I've heard about the live musical performance in the game.
I have not heard about that.
Okay.
So keep it on the down low.
Well, you know there's live action.
I know there's live action. Yeah. That's Remedy's thing. Oh, there was another trailer shown off for Metaphor ReFantazio.
What the hell are you trying to sell?
No, we've talked about this.
Like an NFT program?
No, this is
Metaverse.
This is
Phantasmagoria.
Metaphor ReFantazio. This is the new Persona Studios game.
My search bar is stroking out. Sorry, help me with the title again.
Metaphor :
Why did I hear metaverse twice?
ReFantazio.
Oh my god, I'm getting like Brazilian jazz bands.
It's due out later next year.
ReFantazio. Oh my god.
But it's from the Persona team.
right.
New franchise, fantasy.
I'm watching the announcement trailer.
The announcement trailer was over the summer, and then there's a new trailer from the Game Awards.
Oh, okay, I'll try to let's see if I can do it. Gosh, this is just more of this. This is a part of. I think I would play Persona if the romance was more like 13 Sentinels and the Pokemon was more like Pokemon.
So by the Pokemon being more like Pokemon, you mean like
There's type advantages, are there not?
there sure are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I want it to be. I like that.
Well, that's front and center, present.
Is it? Oh boy, this looks like Catherine.
Another Persona team game.
Yeah. Look at that title.
Yeah, the title is a choice.
It's like a Rorschach.
Alphabet Soup.
Yeah. All right. And we did it.
Almost. I'm done talking Game Awards, but I do have one news story to touch on. It won't be long. Our show is now 5 years old.
We can probably eat solid food. Sorry, it just shows you how much I have anywhere between 3 and 4 relatives that are hitting the 5-year mark any day now.
Sure.
Because of how much my brothers and sisters are just cranking them out. So I should know what a 5-year-old would do.
Do you know what other video game related entity almost shares a birthday with us and has also turned 5?
I should know this. Friggin' Super Smash Bros. Sorry, it's the entity, not a particular game.
Not a particular game.
Oh God, I wanted.
What I'm talking about was announced at the very first Game Awards we predicted back in 2018.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
You've got great affection for it.
I do.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm on the record hating it almost as much as you hate Jacob Geller.
Oh, this should help. I mean, I love Frostpunk. I love Until Dawn.
Not a game, not a specific game.
Oh my God.
Although you could...
Is this a console?
You can acquire games through it.
Oh, the Epic Game Store.
The Epic Game Store.
I nailed it.
We're back to talk about the Epic Game Store, which launched right around the same time Mobius Tubes did this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Still going strong.
5 years later, we got a little more details from the ongoing
Tim Sweeney
lawsuit between Epic and Google over App Store fees. Details emerged from those court proceedings in November, where Epic had to disclose that even after 5 years of pushing this thing, the Epic Game Store is still not profitable.
Loss leading.
It's loss leading. It's a loss leading product. They're trying to grow. That's because they aggressively give away free games on it all the time.
I haven't really taken advantage of it since I got Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, I've definitely fell off it as well. And despite trying to tantalize customers with the free game giveaways and with buying up exclusivity deals, which was my main issue with it, they've just not really carved out much of a market lead from Steam.
They can still afford to take second place.
The store is not making the money. They're subsidizing it with all that Fortnite bucks.
Right.
But after 5 years of failing to turn a profit, that begs the question, will it ever be profitable?
Maybe.
I feel like any Epic Game Store momentum died out years ago.
Oh yeah, the zeitgeist is in the rear view mirror.
So it just doesn't bode well for this store, which this is Chris putting out a plea to our listeners. Never buy anything on the Epic Game Store. Just put them out of their misery.
Oh my God.
If you want to do me a solid, load the installer, download the free games so Epic has to pay for more licensing fees.
This is silly.
Let's pull the plug on this thing so I can finally get f***ing Alan Wake 2 on Steam so I can play it.
Oh, Alan Wake 2 is not on Steam?
Alan Wake 2 is currently exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and this is just the segment I shoehorned in here to complain about it.
Oh, I should play that Alan Wake 2.
Don't buy it.
I had no idea. That's funny. I mean, you're allowed to watch Jacob Geller videos. That's the only reason I know the game Who's Lila. I wanted to play Who's Lila for a fraction of a second.
Oh, is that the facial expression game?
Yes.
That was cool.
It got too spooky for me.
It was pretty spooky.
You have to open another program alongside it. I checked out as soon as I saw that.
Pretty scary. We failed to touch on Hideo Kojima came up at Game Awards.
Hideo Kojima, I didn't see it.
That's the Epic Game Store story done.
Unless I revisit it. No, I won't. I abstain from commenting on Chris's play. I won't come out fully against it, but I abstain. Hideo Kojima
and Jordan Peele.
Yes. Yeah.
On stage together.
OB or no? Is it OD?
OD.
Is the name of the game?
OD, I believe.
Did they pronounce it live on stage as odd?
I think they said OD.
Okay. It's going to be a pun. It's going to be a pun. It's going to be...
It feels like a win getting a Hideo Kojima horror game after PT was shut down so long ago. That's a big thumbs up for me. No idea what it's about. They just showed people's faces.
No.
And Hideo Kojima, maybe setting expectations too high. He's like, oh, it's going to be a new form of media, whatever that means. Which the reason I thought of it was that the Lisa game you mentioned, needing to have a separate program running.
Yeah.
This could be in a similar vein, something like that.
And you know what? If anyone can do it, it is Hideo.
He has the vision.
Yeah.
He has the financial backing.
He has the star power.
He has the cachet.
Yeah.
So
Jeff
I'm here for
Keighley
it.
will be in it.
Assuredly.
Great.
And
that was Jordan Peele.
A little bit weird for this OD project. Hideo Kojima aligned himself with Xbox, and he's usually a big Sony guy. So I don't know what to make of that. Maybe Microsoft just flaunted enough money in front
When was
of
the
him.
last time he was a big Sony guy?
Death Stranding was a console exclusive.
My God, you're totally right.
For a while, at least.
I couldn't play it until it came out on PC.
Right.
It's funny.
Is Death Stranding still not on Xbox? Probably.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
That is weird. And yet Metal Gear has long been associated with Sony.
Right. You can't play Metal Gear 4 anywhere.
Besides a PlayStation 3.
Right.
Yeah.
That and Bloodborne.
That's a PS4 for Bloodborne.
All right.
But yeah,
They
same sentiment.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's actually all of the news.
Hooray.
So
on to the secret news.
Oh.
No, I have no idea what that could entail.
You almost got me excited there.
Darn.
So I guess we should just close out the podcast.
I guess we should. We're you would like it. We're going to be a tight hour-long-ish package.
Really? What's the runtime?
We're at 125.
I've come around on. I think you're rubbing off on me, Heath. I do like the longer podcasts.
Yeah,
now.
you do. So you can fold laundry to them.
Yeah, my podcast listening time has grown,
It's protracted.
and with it, my tolerance for longer episodes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But this short one will just be to grant listeners more time for a long one next episode.
Oh boy, it's going to be a paragraph for each entry on my list. Get excited.
Oh,
Number 7 will shock you.
I was a little sad to see Dredge not take home any awards.
Oh, well, I mean, Cocoon looked fine.
Right, Cocoon ended up
I didn't
winning.
think it deserved anything over Cocoon.
Okay.
I mean, Dredge was a comfy game to play. It's no Dave the Diver. No, I'm joking.
Oh. Did you see?
What?
New Dredge content?
Yeah, the DLC, yeah.
Dredge Dave the Diver crossover.
Really?
Yeah, that's the DLC.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not making this up.
No, there's a separate DLC.
New Dredge DLC.
Dredge DLC. They have to be separate.
When I saw it, I said out loud to Samantha, Heath will be hype about this.
There's the Pale Reach, and now there is friggin' teased Dave the Diver.
It's Dave the Diver that's getting Dredge DLC.
Oh, funny. Okay.
I mixed up the order of operations.
Oh, you're going to serve occultish sushi to customers, and they're going to go mad.
Is this the carrot on the stick you needed to try Dave the Diver?
How much is Dave the Diver?
Probably 20 bucks or less.
If I'm in the mood to play Dave the Diver, I'll probably just fire up Dredge again. That's where those Venn diagrams intersect.
Well, listener, if you are a Dave the Diver fan and want to write in to convince Heath to give it a shot.
Hey, if you're a diver, can you help me discourage Bailey from taking scuba lessons? I'm so afraid of the water.
If either of those situations describe you, you can send us an email at mobiustubespodcast@gmail.com.
That's mobiustubespodcast@gmail.com.
We'll read every single one. We never missed an email.
And we'll play every single Chinese pick a girlfriend game you gift us.
Yes.
That was a huge red flag when I saw it. I thought I had a virus.
Did you consider declining the gift?
I haven't accepted it yet.
Oh! If you decline it and he sends it to me, I will play it.
I'm going to require Oh, that's how that works? It just it returns to his
Returns
Steam
to
wallet?
sender.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. Now I feel like I have to.
Yeah, it would be rude. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Hooray.
See you for the final episode next time, or the final episode of the year. Bye.